5 teams, 2 legs done. Now the Ocean Race fleet prepares to tackle the big one.
It's the longest leg in the race's history. It's a lap of Antarctica, I would call it. It's over 12,000 nautical miles.
35 days, more or less.
The biggest element of it is how far we are from anyone else.
Some of the most extreme places, lots of weather systems. The Southern Ocean's a very notorious place.
You have to change a bit the way you're sailing. Manage not only the boat, but the crew as well.
Not many people get to go where we're going to go in this next leg, which is frightening, but also amazing.
Not only are we going to be dealing with strong winds day in, day out, the weather's going to be cold, the water's going to be very cold.
If you fall overboard, you're dead.
The main thing is to come back with everybody on board and everybody in good shape.
Race day in Cape Town. Refreshed and rested, the sailors make their way to the dock where the IMOCAs lie in wait, ready for the challenges posed by the 3rd leg of the Ocean Race. Crowds line the streets and families gather for emotional goodbyes. Most of these crews won't set foot on dry land again for 30 days or more as they navigate the longest leg in 50 years of Ocean Race history. The 14th edition of the race has already served up some nail-biting action. After a brutal opening drag race in 50 knots of wind, Team Holcim-PRB dominated the first leg from Alicante to Cabo Verde, laying down the gauntlet and claiming the first race win. But things ramped up for the second leg. After fluctuating winds and unexpected setbacks on the route between Cabo Verde and Cape Town, there were less than 20 kilometres separating the top 4 going into the final 24 hours. And when it really mattered, Team Holcim-PRB found the wind first, securing their 2nd consecutive win.
We're a bit tired, we've been working very hard, but you know, the race is long, I know it. And I think we are part of the favorite for sure, but we are working very well in the water, good mood, so proud of the crew, and looking forward to start the leg 3.
So after 2 legs, Holcim-PRB lead the standings with a perfect 10. But with 5 legs to go, it's still anyone's game as they head into the longest leg in Ocean Race history. Starting in Cape Town, this leg of over 23,000 kilometres will see the fleet pass south of Africa's Cape of Good Hope, Australia's Cape Lewin and Chile's notorious Cape Horn, all whilst avoiding the ice exclusion zone, a movable boundary marked in red, established by the race organisers to ensure boats avoid dangerous icebergs in the south. Once clear of Cape Horn, they'll head north along the coast of South America towards the finish line in Itajaí, Brazil. But before then, there's an additional scoring gate at 143 degrees east, just off the coast of Tasmania. Here, teams can pick up points en route. So with the IMOCA fleet back in the water after some much-needed TLC, it's a final chance to savour the calm safety of dry land as the sailors bid farewell and make their last-minute preparations. But before setting out on their unpredictable adventure towards Itajaí, the fleet first faces a tricky inshore course.
Yeah, today's just one day of many more to come. So time to just kind of take it conservative. Yeah, happy, and enjoy the moment.
The idea is to go fast, but to take care. Fast, but not furious, as you say in France.
It's clear from the off that this won't be a straightforward race. As the start gun fires, the only boat crossing the line is Biotherm, with the other 4 stranded in shifting wind, just over 100 metres away.
It looks like Biotherm was actually the one boat to get away here. The wind just produced a bubble right where the other teams didn't want to do it.
As Biotherm continue to stretch away to almost a 600-metre advantage, the rest of the fleet finally hook into the wind and accelerate.
Team Malizia, Boris Herman now absolutely flying. Both foils are out, ready for the tight corners of this racetrack.
But the battle against the wildly varying conditions is only just getting started. As they finish the first lap, Biotherm see their boat speed drop dramatically in the shadow of Table Mountain, and the whole fleet compresses, wiping away their early advantage. With the breeze picking up again for an edge-of-your-seat downwind ride, Biotherm's luck takes another turn for the worst. a powerful jibe rips off their main sheet fang system, meaning they're unable to fully control their mainsail. They have no choice but to drop their sails and suspend racing to return to port and make repairs.
It's epic.
And they aren't the only ones. On the final reach, second place 11th hour racing team are the course's next victims.
Driving in 3, 2, 1, turning here.
Do we want to suspend, do you want to finish this lap and suspend racing?
A violent jibe sees them suffer damage to a batten right at the top of their mainsail. They need to make an urgent call whether to keep going or suspend racing so they can pick up spares.
Next click. We have four wingtips on land. Okay, so let's suspend now. Okay. 2 hours. And we'll fix these with this. We'll get the wingtips, catch our breath, and then catch these in due time.
With both Biotherm and 11th Hour Racing Team forced to suspend racing temporarily, Team Malizia are first to find the wind around the headlands of Cape Town and start the mammoth Leg 3 journey, followed closely by Team Holcim-PRB and GUYOT Environment Team Europe. And after a hectic inshore race, a lull in the wind is welcome.
Of course, it's never good to drift around, but maybe it was quite nice just to say goodbye to land for the last time. Now we're off, and from now it gets colder, darker, and the wind and the waves just get bigger.
11th Hour Racing Team have their issues quickly sorted and are ready to go as soon as the mandatory 2-hour period is up, meaning the 4 remaining boats leave Biotherm behind in Cape Town and push south. Team Holcim-PRB leads the group, but with all 4 caught in a soft breeze, the main challenge now is to find a way to keep moving.
The wind is a bit lighter than expected. I think maybe we are in a current loop, and it's in the nose, so against us, and it decreases the wind.
Frustration for the 4 leading boats, but a golden opportunity for Biotherm, who set out at midnight in more favourable conditions and quickly closed the gap on the rest of the fleet.
We started more than 9 hours behind the other, and after a hard night, windy night, buzzy night, and the other boat were stopped a bit more than us, so it was a good opportunity to come back, and now we are not far away and back in the game.
With all 5 teams back in the swell and pushing southeast, the wind finally makes an appearance, and with it, a need to switch to smaller sails.
Seen the breeze come up. We've been averaging sort of 20, 21 knots for the last half an hour, so yeah, we've been waiting to do this change. Finally, now it's the time.
After a day of light winds and adverse currents, this breeze is welcome. But with risky jibing manoeuvres on the horizon before zigzagging to the east, the key is balancing risk and reward.
We're actually not trying to go as fast as humanly possible right now. We're trying to find a good average speed where we don't load the boat up too much, we don't nosedive too much and have big crashes. That's sort of easier said than done. For sure now it's into, speed versus, preserving the boat for sure. There's a long way to go, and try and keep everything in one piece.
Even though they'd played it safe by jibing earlier and avoiding the worst of the south gale, Team Malizia are devastated with a major emergency at sunset.
Our downwind sail came off the hook and fell into the water, got under the boat, around the keel and around the foil.
The underwater cameras confirm how entwined their primary downwind sail is, wrapped around the foils and the keel and filling with water, so it's impractical to pull back up on deck. They're forced to take the last resort and cut it free.
Gave us a good hour of work and being fully stopped, drifting backwards, so we lost for sure 20 miles at least. And the sail. Everyone is safe, and everyone did a great job in this maneuver. No other damages at the sail, as far as we know.
Despite the setback, Malizia's quick response means they hold on to third place, with only 2 teams pushing the charge east ahead of them overnight. Leading the pace are overall leaders Team Holcim-PRB, with GUYOT Environment Team Europe sitting strong in second. But that doesn't last long.
I was just coming off watch and I could see on the opposite side of the boat we have a pelly case tied to basically to the floor, and I could see it moving. And then I was thinking maybe I'm a bit paranoid, I should just go to bed. Like, no, I don't think I saw it move like that before. So I went over to check it and then I could hear the noise of delamination.
Yeah, it's very strange here.
Then I alerted Ben and woke up Charles to see if they could hear it too, and also then by then I put my hand on the floor and I could feel it really moving up and down. There's no way we can fix that out there.
We can continue like this. So the time is to come back in Cape Town and to prepare the shed to repair. And we'll see.
There's nothing we can do now other than try and get back as quickly and as safely as we can and assess the damage and see what happens next.
With the damage to their hull too extreme to continue, a heartbroken GUYOT crew make temporary fixes and reluctantly turn back.
It's painful. Sometimes probably you should not overthink the situation, but of course you need to reflect a little bit, and it's a shame. It's painful.
Heading west, the despondent crew make their way to the safety of Cape Town at a safe pace. Meanwhile, the remaining 4 IMOCAs keep pushing east, the roaring 40s in sight, and the drama only just beginning. With the fleet down to 4, leg 1 and 2 winners Holcim-PRB continue to lead the ocean race east, holding on to a low-pressure, high-wind system to extend their lead.
The sea state has been horrible last night due to the low pressure we've got in front of us, and it's not easy to find the right balance between speed and not breaking the boat. We've seen that with GUYOT, and I'm very sad for Benjamin and all the team.
Second placed 11th Hour Racing Team's journey isn't going so smoothly. Desperately trying to keep up with the wind, their plans are dashed when they discover their downline for the foil, a rope crucial for the foil's mechanics, has nearly torn through.
Soulmate's gone through on the other side as well, huh? We can't get through a leg with like this.
Fixable, but a recurring problem, which puts a drain on resources and time, causing great frustrations for skipper Charlie Enright.
Maybe we're sailing faster, maybe we're sailing harder, maybe we got different people making the rope, maybe it's different rope, but you know. Every time you think you get to the bottom of something, there's another story, you know?
Nowhere are his frustrations shared more than on Malizia. They thought they'd seen the worst of the damage after their headsail was torn off in the wind, but they discover it's left a dangerous rip in their mast. A critical repair is required as soon as possible if the team stand a chance of continuing.
Well, wish us luck that we can do the repair. I'm so happy to not be alone. This would be a horror show alone. I mean, it's already quite difficult with these guys alone. I'm not sure.
With no other option, the crew spends a grueling day taking turns up the mast with reinforcing sheets of carbon fibre. This is made all the more difficult by the mast swinging like a pendulum due to the mixed sea state.
Whoa, hold.
Third lamination is done. Is going up now. We have laminated 18 layers, 6 layers each batch. We have done 3 batches up. So it's pretty thick. It's a solid repair in the middle of the Southern Ocean.
By the time Will Harris descends, it's dark, but the job is done, and the relief is plain to see.
Well done, man!
And just in time, because the wind is just around the corner. Team Holcim-PRB continue to set the standard over 500 kilometers ahead. But as the three other teams dive right to the edge of the ice exclusion zone, they find the Southern Ocean breeze. Biotherm, 11th Hour Racing Team and Team Malizia are finally in fast pursuit and spirits are high.
We have 22-24 knots on north-northwest. So we are on port on a fast mode with not so much sea state, so it's nice and fast sailing condition.
I think especially from tonight on, it's gonna be more colder as we'll go through a cold front, and the winds will come straight from Antarctica. So we need to put the PMPDs on, night places, everything.
On Biotherm, there's more than one reason to celebrate. Not only is it Anthony Marchand's birthday, but they're running smoothly and up to second place. No mean feat after a troubled and delayed start to the leg.
The mood on board is as good as ever. The proof is that when in the daytime, when I go to have my off watch, I have to put my noise-reducing headphones on to cancel out the sound of laughter in the cockpit. Everyone's getting on well, and it's a real pleasure to sail with people who are happy to be here and enjoying it, because sometimes the conditions are a little bit against us for enjoying it.
But 11th Hour Racing Team's mood isn't as positive. As if two of their sails requiring repairs isn't enough, an inspection at the stern sends alarm bells ringing.
Due to the fact that we had sail issues yesterday, we find ourselves in light air, went to do a peel, and as it got light, we did some routine checking of the yacht, and Jack noticed a crack in the starboard rudder, which is clearly disconcerting, particularly in this part of the world. Justine, the genius that she is, suggested that we check the other rudder, and we proceeded to do that, and there's a massive crack just at the root of the port rudder.
After numerous discussions with their shore crew, the team form a plan.
One way or another, we're going to have to put a spare rudder in here. So we'll work towards that.
The starboard rudder, which had suffered the most extreme damage, is unbolted from the system and replaced with the only spare they have on board. All their hopes are now pinned on this rudder staying strong.
It's been a long day. Nobody anticipated this. This started 10 hours ago. It only took an hour and a half to change the actual rudder, but it's consumed the entirety of the day. But we look finally settled in decent shape, headed to the east, and I'm going to take this opportunity to get some rest.
The wind up, and one by one, each team rushes by the next landmark on their way to the scoring gate. There's hardly time to mark the occasion.
It's the famous route of the three capes, Cape Good Hope, Cape Louis, and Cape Horn. And so now already passing the second out of three capes. But we're not halfway, but it's a good feeling. West coast to west side of Australia.
Conditions are now perfect and the miles are flying by. In a huge boost to confidence, the 24-hour distance record looks to have been smashed, with all four IMOCAs sailing over 572 nautical miles in a day. And although Holcim-PRB's lead has shrunk to just over 200 kilometers, the wind is also catching up with them.
Been kind of just a little bit short on speed in the last few, so we've been doing our best to find the next gear and try and match the other boats, and we've just had a really good sked. We're almost 2-3 knots faster over the last hour, so there's a good miles gained there.
They post what appears to be the new 24-hour standard at 588.71 nautical miles. If they stick to this pace, they may well prove to be unassailable. But there's less than 30 kilometers separating the chasing trio.
There's about 370 miles to go now, and we have 11th Hour, who's in second place, less than 1 mile away from us. And basically is making the racing super close at the moment. We're both pushing the boats to maximum, you know, and super tense. You know, I really want to beat them.
As Team Malizia eye up their closest competitors, over 200 kilometres ahead, Team Holcim-PRB can breathe a sigh of relief as skipper Kevin Escoffier and his crewmates are first across the scoring gate at 143 east longitude, collecting the maximum 5 points in the process.
Very happy of the way we've been sailing since Cape Town, and looking forward to safely to Itajaí.
As their race continues, Team Malizia edges past 11th Hour Racing Team in close quarters and are elated to cross the line in second.
Well done!
They're followed by 11th Hour Racing Team in third and Biotherm just slipping down to fourth after standing strong in second.
So we are a bit disappointing on the sport side, but on the personal side, and we are learning a lot on the boat, and we improve a lot the speed of Biotherm in downwind and EV conditions. So that's a positive point. We have sailed all the Indian Ocean, and now we have the Pacific in front of us, and we are doing this race for this leg, and we are enjoying.
So with Holcim-PRB once again taking the top spots, they still lead the standings with 15 points. 11th Hour Racing Team hold on to second, but only just, as Team Malizia shoot up to within 1 point of them after crossing the scoring gate in second. Biotherm slipped to fourth, and GUYOT's misfortune sees them stalled in fifth place, at least for now. Reaching this milestone will certainly have given the teams a boost, but they're not even halfway through leg 3 yet. There are still over 13,000 kilometres to go before they reach the finish line in Itajaí.
It was just the start to leg 3B, and with approximately 2 weeks to Cape Horn, and probably 3 weeks to the finish.
We got to remember as a group that we're here engaging in one of life's last great adventures, and we're doing it together as a squad, and we need to enjoy it, and you know, certainly enjoy each other's company. It's been a lot of hard work just to get to this point. Put a lot of hard hours into the boat too, and we got to get this boat to Brazil. That's the big goal here.
So as GUYOT Environment Team Europe race against time to get their boats seaworthy for the next leg, there's still no land in sight for the other 4 teams as leg 3 of the ocean race continues.